Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be good love is hard to find. Well, I've got two emails that I'm going to go through with you today, and I took a little bit of inspiration from one of my favorite musicians, being obviously the late great Mr. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's a really good song called, actually called You Got Lucky, but part of the chorus is Good Love is Hard to Find. And what's interesting is I've thought about doing a video on this particular song over the years. And then, I was thinking about it over the weekend. And then as I was going through the emails this morning, like these two hit me. Because both these guys are making not very good choice. Or one of them did make a good choice in the past, but he learned from it, obviously because of what he learned from yours truly in my first book, 3% Man. And the first guy he's young, you can tell, and he's getting all excited about his emotions and what he thinks about this girl, but he's ignoring something that's like a big red flag because he's all wrapped up in his emotions and how much he likes this girl. And part of being successful, not just in your personal life, but your professional life, is being a good judge of character. Being able to recognize when people are good for you, good to you, good for your soul, and they're the kind of people that are going to help you reach your full potential. And if you happen to kind of be in like a deficit, if you will, meaning how you perceive yourself, you don't think you're good enough or you don't think you're worthy, you're going to tend to gravitate towards putting up with things and putting up with people that just are not good for you and not good to you. And that can really make life difficult because eventually you're going to realize that you made a bad choice. So ideally, you want to find these things out before you get too deep in any kind of personal or professional relationship with these kinds of people. Because you really have to be good at recognizing a good quality person from a bad quality person. Because let's face it, there's a lot of low quality people out there that are just going to bring all kinds of drama and unpleasant things into your life. So with that said, I have a quote that I wrote, and then we'll jump right into the first guy's email. And the quote says, like money, quality friends and lovers don't grow on trees. They are like finding precious diamonds in the most unlikely and unexpected places when you're not even trying to find them. They seem to find you, and it's always easy and effortless being with them. Friction and resistance are life's way of letting us know that our approach is flawed, not optimized properly, or needs improvement. That is why the novice struggles and those who have reached mastery make it look easy. Doing things the hard way is tiring and frustrating, but by learning from our mistakes, measuring what's working and what's not, and refining our approach, over time we can achieve mastery and make our successes look easy to the novice. So it's like all the things I talk about, obviously, especially I talk about in my first book, 3% Man, and then later my second book, Mastering Yourself. Mastering Yourself being the book about self-reliance. Is I made a lot of mistakes. I continue to make lots of mistakes in my life, but that's one of the reasons why I learn so much and I know so much more than the average person does, is because I'm always studying, always learning, I'm always refining my approach, always trying to get better, trying to learn more, trying to grow more, and obviously, most importantly, trying to have fun, because the reality is this journey is not going to last forever, and I want to have a damn good time. So with that said, I'm going to jump into the first guy's email. I'm going to probably go back and forth a little bit to some of the lyrics in Tom Petty's song, You Got Lucky, just to kind of, because he sings about some truths in that song about people, especially relationships. And what I like about it, the song and the words, is that he's noticing that the woman he's involved with doesn't seem to be reciprocating the same level of interest and effort. And his attitude is, you got lucky when you found me. And if you think you can do better, go. I dare, kind of like what I talked about in the video that I did last week called Dare Her to Find Somebody Better. If you love yourself and you value yourself and somebody's not appreciating what you bring to the table, dare them to go find somebody else. You want them to go find somebody else. Maybe they do. Because if you care about somebody, you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you. Why would you want to be with somebody that has mediocre interest in you and is not making the effort. Because if you do, you're always going to be frustrated and you're going to be irritated. And what happens, guys that do these kinds of things get mad at the other person for not reciprocating, which you'll kind of see in the second guy's email. So the first guy says, "Hello, Coach Corey. I hope you are doing great, and I wanted to bring this potential coaching story for your newsletter to your attention. There was a lot to unpack, and I'd love to hear what I should have done better so I can work on it. I met this girl at a coffee shop we both study in. I had seen her a couple times before, and we exchanged eye contact for a bit. One day I went up to her and we talked, and she was enjoying it. After talking 2 to 3 times over 2 weeks, I asked her out for drinks, and she said, 'That is so nice, but I have a boyfriend.' So the smart man goes, let me take a sip of the drama-free zone. What does that mean? If my life's a drama-free zone and she just told me she has a boyfriend and I'm interested, you say, oh, cool. Well, he's a lucky dude. Well, let me give you my number. If for some reason it doesn't work out, get in touch with me. That's how I would handle that situation. But is that how this guy handles it? Let's find out. I told her it was no worries and she still wanted to exchange numbers. That day we joked a bit over text and then I never contacted her. So far, so good. He says, after a week, she said she was drinking and wanted to hang out. Remember, she's got a boyfriend. I was busy at work, so I told her we could meet at 10, but she asked for a rain check. I invited her out 2 times over the next 2 weeks, and both times she said she was busy, so I decided not to message her again. Yeah, in these kinds of situations where you encounter a woman that's got a boyfriend, you don't keep reaching out and trying to set dates because she has a boyfriend. Because right now you're encouraging her to cheat. And obviously I know this guy is young and he doesn't have a lot of life experience. And he thought kind of like I did when I was his age. You see enough movies, you're thinking, hey, it's meant to be. This is what happens in the movies. You meet, she's taken, you're taken, maybe you're both taken. And then fate intervenes and magically end up together by the end of the movie because it's just so beautiful in movies. But the reality is he's trying to encourage her to cheat. And it looks like potentially she might be the type of girl to cheat. Maybe not. Because it's obvious she's reaching out and talking to another guy when she supposedly is in an exclusive relationship with somebody else. But remember, as I talk about in 3% Man, sex has to be the man's fault. So in this case, it's like her saying, I have a boyfriend, and yet you keep trying, and say you eventually do hook up with her. Then she has absolved herself from any responsibility for the sex because she did tell you, hey, I got a boyfriend. But if you're successful in seducing me, it's not my responsibility that I cheated on my boyfriend. It's kind of her attitude, obviously. He says, after that, we would meet in the coffee shop every once in a while and talk for about 20 to 30 minutes. Conversation was great. One day, I messaged her a picture of an event that reminded me of her, and that became a very flirty conversation. Well, you're kind of acting like the chick there. But again, you're pursuing a chick that has a boyfriend. She would even text me twice after I only liked her message and respond immediately to my text. The conversation ended with her suggesting we have a 2-person party on the weekend. So on Thursday, I told her we should go out Friday. She said she was busy until 6 and suggested we do Sunday instead. I told her I could only do Sunday in the afternoon because I was busy at night. She said that bars would be closed because of COVID, so I invited her to my place, and she didn't respond. Well, keep in mind, you haven't had a date yet, and you're basically just saying, hey, why don't you come over and we'll have sex? I know you didn't say that, but that's basically what that means. You gotta take time to warm up to that level. He says, I saw her on Friday by coincidence, and we talked for 2 hours, and she was super flirty and even said she had nothing to do that night. So I messaged her, and we talked, but the moment I invited her to hang out, she started doing house chores, so I said, no worries, you just missed out on a fun night. So obviously she's enjoying the attention and the validation that he's giving her, because more than likely she's not getting that from her boyfriend. She talks about getting together, dangles the carrot, and then goes, oh, I got some house chores to do right now. Shucks, I guess we're not going to be able to meet tonight. Drama-free zone, man. This is how you get drama in your life, when you continue driving down this road. Bad way to go, my friend. She liked the message the next day and then replied to it 2 days later saying, "Sorry, just saw this." I replied, "Haha, you're good." Well, the fact that she liked the message and this is, "Oh, I just saw this," she's full of crap. She did it on purpose. Since then, so that's another thing. Women that have low interest or they're kind of toying with you, you can see they'll be a little snarky. Like this, "Oh, I just saw the message." She didn't just see the message. She did that on purpose. Or, "Oopsie, I forgot to reply to your last message after several days." Like, no. She's like just acting like she doesn't give a shit, doesn't respect you, doesn't. I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to get her to cheat on her boyfriend. So you're not acting like a dude that has integrity anyway. So you shouldn't be surprised that you're getting kind of jerked around. Since then, I plan on not giving her much attention. I'm trying to understand what I've done wrong, which is making her act so hot and cold. Come on, man. She has a boyfriend. Duh. You're acting like the boyfriend's not there because you think you're going to be some Captain Save-A-Ho, some white knight in shining armor. It just doesn't work that way, dude. Does not work that way. So what I would have done, like I said in the beginning, I would have given her a number and say, "Hey, if it doesn't work out, get in touch." And if she does get in touch, invite her to meet you out. Assume that she's not with the dude anymore. But if she tells you she's still got a boyfriend, just say, "Hey, well, it's kind of not. I'm not interested in going out with you as long as you have a boyfriend." You could have always qualified that beginning. Just say, "Well, if you got a boyfriend, I'm not interested. But why don't you take my number? Because who knows? Maybe it doesn't work out or whatever. And definitely get in touch if it doesn't work out. Let me know." And then if she reaches out, you assume that it probably didn't work out, and then you'll try to set a date. But here you're trying to encourage a woman to cheat. It's no bueno at all. So back to the Tom Petty, the whole reason why I came up with this. So in the lyrics, what I like, like the very beginning couple verses, he said, one of the things he says, I assume, obviously I don't know because I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote this song because this is going back like 30 years, but the very beginning of the song starts out, he says, "You better watch what you say. You better watch what you do to me. Don't get carried away." And then he says, "Girl, if you can do better than me, go." Yeah, go, but remember, good love is hard to find. So what I like about the verses is that he's recognized, well, at least it seems to be saying is that this woman is not treating him the way he wants to be treated. She's a little arrogant, a little full of herself, maybe jerking him around a little bit, and kind of got the attitude like she's treating him like she doesn't value him very much. And his attitude is, "Hey, if you think you can do better than me, go." And then the next part, after the verse, "Good love is hard to find," he says, "You got lucky, babe. You got lucky, babe, when I found you." So he's turning around. He's like, "I'm a high-value guy. You got lucky when you met me. I'm doing you a favor." It's a great attitude. I love this. I absolutely love this song. It's one of my favorites. I was really crushed when I heard Tom Petty passed away. It really bummed me out. Just like when Glenn Frey died of the Eagles. I was crushed. Those are bummers. Those are real fucking bummers. But that's life. It turns everybody to dust. All the people you look up to, all the people you love, eventually, poof, we're all dust in the wind like the Kansas song. And then the last part of this verse, which I like, he says, "You put a hand on my cheek, and then you turned your eyes away. If you don't feel complete, if I don't take you all of the way, then go. Yeah, go, but remember, good love is hard to find." So he's basically saying, it's like, if I don't do it for you, if I'm not setting your soul on fire, it's like, get the hell out of here. I'm not going to waste my time with you. I'm doing you a favor. So it just kind of sounds like this particular woman wasn't reciprocating interest to him. And he's like, I'll find somebody else. That's the kind of attitude you want to have. And that kind of attitude will have helped the first guy's email. Because he's putting out the vibration that he's okay screwing around. In other words, trying to rip off some other guy's girlfriend. Number one, it's kind of dangerous and it's stupid and it's unnecessary. And you're sending the signal to the universe that it's okay to send low integrity people into your life. Maybe the karma you get for that is somebody comes into your life you think is your friend and they steal a bunch of money from you. or they take your car without asking and then wreck it. Who knows? I mean, it's just that's the way life works. So it's a bad way to go. Just like the mug says, drama-free zone. You're inviting drama in your life, dude, so knock that shit off. So let's go to the second guy's email. And so this guy, obviously, he got burned pretty bad. I won't give you the details yet because you got to listen as I go through the email. But he learned from it. And I love getting emails like this from dudes like this that tell me how my first book, 3% Man, turned their lives around. It gives guys hope because then they recognize it's like not really my fault, a lot of these things, because I picked, I picked the bad choice. But when they're able to objectively look at the woman that they're upset about, and they can see her for what she really is, that she's just like a low quality prospect, it's like, oh, I've just done thousands of phone sessions over the years with guys that are just absolutely distraught about women they were involved with. It could have been a wife, could have been a girlfriend, a girl they were dating, whatever. And then after they explain everything to me and I point out all these character flaws, I was like, dude, there was no way you were ever going to have a healthy relationship with her. Even now, even if you get her back and you get another chance with her, same circumstances come up, she will do the same thing all over again. And man, it's just so nice to hear a guy that's absolutely distraught in the beginning of a phone session, and then by the end of it, he's laughing, he's joking around, and it's like all the weights lift off his shoulders because now he sees the woman for what she really is. And he's like, I was so silly to even think she could be a good prospect. So I love that part of my work. I love seeing that because it's freeing. So instead of obsessing over something for many months, you literally will talk for an hour, and the guy's like, he can move on from that because then he gets clarity. So let's go to the second guy's email. It says, hey, Corey, I'm writing to say thank you for all you do. I've been following you now for 3 months. I bought both of your books in audio, and I finished 3% Man 5 times and Mastering Yourself once so far. So the good news, obviously, with 3% Man, all about pickup dating, relationship skills, and then obviously Mastering Yourself is all about, it's a book of self-reliance. And your purpose, your mission, figuring out what that is, dealing with haters, and just the whole process. And I go through all the stories, all the ups and downs over the course of 3-4 decades of my life, and explained how the events that happened in my life affected me, what I learned from it, and how all that experience and all those fuck-ups and all those failures enable me to do what I do today and make it look and sound effortless. And obviously be able to teach this stuff and have some random dude in the internet that I don't know read my books, watch my videos, and then just have these amazing success stories that I read from time to time. And that's cool too, that people can learn from what I went through, and I'm able to effectively teach them in a way that dramatically changes their life. It's very rewarding. He says, I still have a lot more to go, and I also listen to your YouTube videos 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's a lot of time, dude. Well, I appreciate your dedication. That tells me you're a serious student, and you've gotten to the point where you've hit the wall, and you're like, that's it. No more of this. I will never tolerate this kind of stuff in my life ever again. I'm 34 years old, and I've been married for 13 years, and I also have 3 kids. Before I got married, I was always successful with women and worked hard for what I wanted. I had my own construction business and owned my own home and land by the age of 21. Yeah, you're a high achiever, dude. That's pretty awesome. Most people don't have the guts to do that. And therefore, you're obviously a high-quality prospect because you're a high achiever. And like Nick Saban said, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. He says, the first 8 years of my marriage, my goal was to provide a better life for my family and to make sure they were always happy. I sold my construction business and went back to college and got a degree. Anyways, I always went after my dreams. Till I caught my wife cheating on me with 3 of my cousins who I thought were my best friends and my brothers. Ouch. So it's like your own family is banging your girl. I guess 3 of them? That's pretty fucking ruthless and harsh. They are definitely off the Christmas card list. You know, when you've got sedition in your own family, and they do something shitty like this, obviously they don't care. They're selfish. These are the kind of people you got to manage the distance with in your life, even though they're family. I had a guy that, it's interesting. As I was going through this, I had a guy that used to work for me years ago, and this was back when I was in real estate before I got into doing this full time. And he and his wife came to me because they were having problems, and I worked with them and shared what I knew. This is like, I was coaching and helping people. Their marriage got great and totally turned things around. I remember them walking into a meeting they had, and they were laughing and joking about how much sex they'd been having the past week and how happy they were. I was happy for them. And shortly after that, they both moved away, and I assume they just went and lived happily ever after. Then I remember a couple years later, he emails me because he kind of went back to the old way of doing things, but he kind of made a bad choice to begin with because she was kind of a trashy chick. And she left him for one of his cousins. So if you treat women like this good, they're loyal and faithful for the most part. But as soon as you start screwing up and they're not happy, they just go and fuck somebody else. It's just the way they think. It's just like the song says, good love is hard to find. He says, she's from a broken family, and I knew before marrying her she was a cheater, but as you say, I had my blinders on. He knew about the red flags, knew her history, but he's like, I'm going to be different. I'm Captain Save-A-Ho here. He says, I was numb and dead inside until I found your work. You gave me life again, and I'm chasing my dreams once more. Thank you, Coach. Tried to keep it short. Well, thanks for that, and I'm proud of you, dude. I mean, that's a tough thing to come back from, but the reality is you're an amazing dude. You've done all these amazing things in your life, and you just made a crappy choice for the woman that you chose to marry. Now you've learned from that mistake, and obviously now you got the tools in your hands, 3% Man, to turn things around. And for those of you that haven't read either of my books, obviously you can read 3% Man and Mastering Yourself for free at understandingrelationships.com. All you got to do is subscribe to the email newsletter. Obviously, the Drama Free Zone mugs are available at teespring.com, the Coach Corey Wayne store, if you're so inclined. To remind yourself every day to say, my life's a drama-free zone. And they're great conversation pieces, too, because people see that it's like, I like that. I like the drama-free zone. And if you're struggling and you're having a difficult time, maybe you're in a situation with a woman and you're all emotionally wrapped up and you don't trust what you're thinking and feeling because your emotions, but she's done a lot of crappy things and you're not sure what it means, you're not sure it's salvageable, and you want my opinion, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.